And you know what? Exactly. See, don't even listen.
Why you give it to me, statement?
And it's funny though. I've actually been getting messages since we've done that show, and people trying to reach out to her, and some real good stuff.
You mentally stable yourself?
Oh no, I don't. Hey, I'm not doing what he's doing. But no, we've had people reach out. One of the girls that did come to the show, she's trying to put together a program. I'm not going to expose it too much, but it has to do with mental health and school. So they sat down and talked, and so we've been getting good feedback about that show. So
segue,
that's been working out. Exactly. No, we ain't gonna do that.
Segue, here we go.
I'm not segueing nothing. I gotta ask you first how your week was. How was your week, Ty?
Man, my week has been fine. You know, busting my hind parts, trying to make something out of it.
All right, we working hard.
Yeah,
so working hard. Doing. Segue. So we're gonna start with sports, of course.
Oh boy.
Let me tell you something. I don't know how y'all feel about Colin Kaepernick, but I'm done with him. I'm finished with him.
What?
I'm finished with him. What he did yesterday, that stunt he pulled yesterday.
Finally, someone agrees with me.
Well,
that one. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, but no, I agree.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. You know,
because the thing about it is that people are trying to give him a chance, and then he takes it upon himself, and he moves the workout 30 minutes before the workout's supposed to start. Kaepernick situation.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He changed the location 30 minutes before. I don't know what he's trying to prove, but I'm over it. I'm done with it. I hope Jay-Z's done with it too, because he stuck his neck out there for that man, and this is what you get.
Yeah, you got fucked it in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a good thing.
The thing that really messed me up, it wasn't so him working out. You know what I'm saying? What got me is what he said afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what got me.
It sounded like he was sending threats.
Yeah, he threatened the whole NFL.
He sounded like Suge Knight.
I expect to hear from some owners this week. God damn it!
He threatened the whole NFL. But this is what I don't get though. They looked out and tried to do a workout for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the reasons why they did it, I don't know.
Shit,
you know what I'm saying? I because a lot of people saying they did it, spur of the moment, did it on a Saturday, you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff. Regardless of how and when they did it, they did it. Yeah. So he needed to be humble enough to go out there, do it, and then wait to see the responses.
Which one of the funny thing is, if you work somewhere, say your job right now, if you sued your job and they paid you, would you go back to your job after that and be like, yes, all right, man, give me a job. Can I get a job? Like, would you do that? Just think about it. This is all we thinking it on our terms.
Exactly. No, you're definitely right. That's what I don't even see why he's trying to get back in.
Yeah, he has money. Money is not the issue, but I think it's more of a pride thing, and it's more of a, I don't know what point he's trying to prove, but I think that shit's done sailed. He got paid. He's all right.
But this is what I want a lot of people to understand. The NBA, NFL, hockey, baseball, if you get drafted into one of those leagues, that's God working for you.
It's a big thing. It's a lot of people.
It's over like 3,000 colleges. And you got to realize the NBA only pick up, what was it, 36 people?
What?
Two rounds?
I mean, NBA, 2 rounds of guaranteed contracts.
In the NBA.
Right. Yes.
Now, football is what? 6?
It's a million rounds.
6 to 8 rounds.
That should
but
be
still,
on like
everybody,
3 days.
Right. But everybody don't get drafted. So when you get drafted, you need to be humble and take that in and do your damn job. But the way he went after that workout was like, I'm looking for a doctor on Roger Goodell, the NBA, the NFL teams, the the ball in y'all court, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
He'll be okay.
So I really hope he does not get a job, man. Sure.
I didn't take it that far.
I'm serious.
I ain't take it that far.
I'm serious. No one picks him up.
I really don't think
one.
I really don't see nobody picking him up.
What is his goal out of it?
You must have watched the Redskins game today.
Let me ask y'all this though,
talk about my team.
Everybody said it's like he deserves a job. He deserves a job, right?
But they're saying that because they say he's blackballed.
All right.
That's why I think they're saying that.
Okay, so with that being said and everybody saying that, right? Wouldn't you expect an NFL owner or someone to have you sign certain papers before you come out before I let you perform this thing, before I come out here, right?
Well, for
to
the
protect
workout?
me, because at the end of the day, he can still sue them again. I heard.
But let me
For the
explain.
workout? No.
Not talking about, no, he's not talking about the workout. He's talking about as far as making on team. But this is what you have to understand, and this is plain and simple how it works. Nobody's gonna pick Kaepernick up because the problem is he can go out there, he can do the best workout he want to do, but you know what the next thing is gonna be? They're like, damn, you look good, and then they're gonna pull him in the back and be like, you still playing on the other? Like, are you still playing on? Nobody's doing that.
Question mark. Is there any NFL player doing it right now?
There's Neil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric Reed.
Eric Reed, and it's I think it's somebody from Philadelphia also.
Mm-hmm.
There's Neil.
So it's going unnoticed then.
Yeah, because we passed kneeling, like Jay-Z said. We passed kneeling.
So kneeling don't mean nothing anymore.
Exactly.
So at that end of the day.
But still, people don't want the problems. They don't want the trouble, and I don't want to spend too much time on Colin because the hell with him. Anyways, moving on. I am. Nah, because when people give you the resources and you know they give you
second chance and all.
Like you sued them and they still gave you a workout for team. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be humble, like you said.
Exactly.
But you sued them and now you coming in there making demands. Guess what? They got
making demands and
they got a place for you.
Oh my God.
Anyways, move on. One more sports topic. Carmelo Anthony got signed by the Portland Trail Blazers.
That's my man. Syracuse Orangeman, baby.
I wasn't a fan of that one.
And then the Rocket
Syracuse Orangeman.
The Rocket scientist next to me thought he was getting $14,000 for the season.
Not me.
I mean,
the management did.
Oh yeah, sorry, management.
As long as he's not talking about me.
It's actually a non-guaranteed deal. He gets $14,490 per game. But they can cut him. They can cut him whenever they want. No, that's think about it. It's an 82 game season.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
So if you do the 14,000 times the 82, then that's what he'd be making.
And Portland not a bad team.
No, not at all.
Portland not a bad team. So I think he will help that team out.
Exactly.
But someone, I think we was discussing that. How come LeBron didn't go to bat for Carmelo to try to help Carmelo get a job? Like LeBron came out and said he wanted Deion Sanders to get the Florida State job. So a lot of people saying LeBron and Carmelo so tight. That's your boy. Mm-hmm. How come you ain't vouch for him?
He might have learned something we all learned a long time ago.
Uh-oh.
Stop vouching for people when it comes to work.
Exactly.
No, I'm dead serious. Stop vouching for people when it comes to work because you have to know somebody else's work ethic. If your work ethic isn't the same as mine, I can't tell somebody to hire you. I can't do that because I know how far I go, but I don't know how far they go. So guess what? I wish you the best. I hope you find a job, but I'm not putting my neck on the line, even though when it comes to LeBron, it wouldn't be him putting his neck on the line. But think about it. LeBron can pull triggers in LA and be like, listen,
exactly.
Pick up Carmelo right now. You want to sit him on the bench and give him $14,000 a game, just let him get the check. Mm-hmm. But it's not about that. But anyways, we out of the sports situation. I'm done with sports. Oh, you want to talk about the Redskins? They some shit. Your team is playing right now.
What's the score? Are we winning?
No,
y'all playing the Eagles?
Yeah, we playing the Eagles.
Oh, okay. Shout out Kim. Hey, Kim, how you doing?
Yeah. How y'all getting y'all tail beat, Kim?
All right, let's run into some social stuff real quick.
All right.
The big social news this week which was stupid to me. Instagram removing likes. I personally don't give a shit. I'm just being honest. I personally don't care.
That's old.
What?
They did that?
No, I think they just...
No. They just started this past week.
You said removing likes.
Removing likes.
So like if I can't double click on that no more?
No, you can still like, but you can't like. Yeah, if I like what's on Finger's page.
If you like what he did, you won't see it on yours no more.
No, you won't see it on his. You won't see it on his no more. Is what I'm saying.
You can't see who he like, basically.
Basically is what they're saying.
Yeah, I know they have removed it from in your notifications where you can't see what he like.
But they're trying to make it. But see, the problem with it is that the issue everybody's having with it is that a lot of people do business on Instagram and they go by the amount of likes they get, and that's how they get these endorsements and they get these commercials and they get these deals. Like,
why do you think Instagram is the new what's it called, the Black Planet or whatever it's called?
I don't know about Black.
No, shit far surpassed that.
Right. Ain't no Instagram models on there now.
Nah, but the difference is Instagram is not making any money. I think Instagram got to the point where they're not. Because look at all these stars that came off of Instagram, strictly Instagram. Mm-hmm. And Instagram is not making money off of this no more. So they're trying to find a way to monetize. They're like, hold on, wait a minute. These people on here, it's a girl on there that has 2 million likes on the page, or 2 million friends, and then she's selling flat tummy tea, and she's getting paid. She's getting endorsement money. And Instagram, I guess they feel a way about they're not getting money off of that. So I think the way they're about to sculpture this whole thing is going to be somewhere where they get a cut out of everything that happens. Yeah, they're gonna do the management thing. They're gonna middleman.
How you gonna get cut when you don't even pay for your Instagram page or nothing like that?
They monetize it.
She's trying.
No.
They will get cut off your merchandise.
No. They're gonna get a cut off of. I'm sorry. Somebody just asked if we saw their comment on the feed. Where's the feed? Let's find the feed.
It's on our page. It's
Who?
E. Brody's just asked, did you see the comment on the page? Come on, we gotta keep up with the page.
Well,
Anybody but a dead body. Come on.
You get the page? I got the page?
There it is. What it is, it's about they want to monetize whatever is going on. But the thing about it is, there we go. Hold on, stop.
But I don't see how they're gonna get money off. I don't see how Instagram.
No, what happens is
going to get money off that.
Because the thing about it is,
some likes.
all right, no. It's not about likes. It's not about likes. It's this. All right. So you have 2 million likes, and I have a company called Yingling. So I'm paying you to post Yingling stuff on your page.
Okay.
Right. Instagram is not getting a cut out of that. They're not getting no money out of that. Only person that's getting money out of it is you.
Yeah.
So this is my personal opinion. What I think Instagram is going to do is they're going to find a way to middleman that situation. That's what it is, because they just want to cut out of it. Because you keep making this money. Look at all the people, HaHa Davis, DC Young Fly, all those dudes came up strictly off of Instagram. Yeah. And now they're stars. They're touring, they're making thousands, they're making millions of dollars. And Instagram was like, damn, we didn't get nothing for it. So I think it's a money play, even though we know they have enough money for whatever days, but it is what it is. Shout out to Instagram. Just don't cut my page off like y'all cut 50 Cent page off. That's all I ask.
Don't mess with the lounge.
Yeah, don't mess with the lounge boys page. That's all we're asking.
They cut 50 off?
Oh yeah, they deactivated 50 pages. Yeah. Oh, they're about to cut the bullying shit out. The bullying shit. Yeah. They
So I will make up something so you can do what you want to do then.
We'll talk about that on camera.
Can't be a man out here no more. You gotta be a wimp.
Real quick, let's talk about and which I didn't know that this whole situation with the fight with the teacher, the substitute teacher, I didn't know that was here in Largo, Maryland.
Yeah.
Yes. Largo.
I watched it and I was like, oh damn,
that video went crazy berserk.
I was like, that's in Florida. Did you have like a whole bunch of views on it?
My joint got like 20,000 views on it.
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that must be Florida. And then when I was again, it's like it was Largo.
Who was the other one at? The other in
Texas.
The other one was in Texas. Where the teacher snatched the kid out and stomped on her face. Yeah, that was cruel.
But see, the thing about it is, I'm not a teacher. I understand that. The teacher who did that was 36 years old. All right. So
she's been at that school for 2 years.
She's been up there 2 years. So now, the whole thing about that is, I don't know how to feel about that situation. I didn't see the whole video. I saw somebody get bumped. She bumped the teacher, but it was a slight bump. It wasn't nothing.
We don't know what happened before that.
We don't. We really don't know.
That's what always the problem is.
But the thing about it, no, that's not the issue.
Why?
That's not the issue, because when you get in a fight and you say you whoop somebody's ass or they whoop your ass, nobody asks you how it starts. They ask you who won.
Okay, but in this situation, when you have a teacher and a child, if that child was totally disrespectful before that camera came on,
okay,
that child could have threatened that teacher.
All right, but the thing about it is,
at the end of the day, if she does,
but I'm just
then
saying,
that teacher's supposed to walk out that room and go to get their security.
No,
there's protocol. No, there's protocol. There's protocol.
All the stuff that's going on in these schools,
you clearly
school shootings and school stabbings and all that. She has a right to defend herself.
You clearly hear the conversation before she walks past her, and she says, "You have any other problems? You need to take that up with a parent or a counselor." And she stepped off on her. When she stepped off on her, she appears to bump her. Okay, a bump is assault now. So the teacher, she got like 3 steps ahead, even more. Mm-hmm. And the teacher got fired and hit her with a karate kick in the back and a grab and a...
Okay. I think the teacher took it a little too far. But this is the only thing, and I always say this to people, is you can't tell somebody how to react to something.
You can't.
Let's talk about let's real quick, segue. The Cleveland game the other night.
Oh, boy.
You know what I'm saying? He took his helmet off and he smacked him with the helmet.
Yeah.
Now the thing about it is, if somebody does something to you, you cannot tell them how to react because everybody's gonna react different. Everybody takes it to, you don't know what level they're gonna go to. So the other night, I really felt like Rudolph was kind of in the wrong. Rudolph kind of started it. He kicked him in the balls a couple times, grabbed his helmet, did all that, but the thing that you saw was
him getting whopped up upside the head.
And the thing about it is, he played the victim role.
But see,
he played the victim role because he was chasing him down. As soon as he got hit with the helmet, he was like, "Oh, hey,
Exactly. Mommy!"
But the thing about it is, you cannot control how people react. That's why people say people go overboard.
Did y'all see the picture that I posted?
No. What was the picture of?
Him looking like he grabbing the man nuts.
No.
I'm talking about even when he was when he hit him with the helmet. At the same time that he was going to clock him with the helmet, it's a picture of him with his hand down like this, like he grabbing him again.
But see, that's the thing, and they handed out the suspensions. Rudolph didn't get anything.
He didn't get
Nothing.
Okay. Well,
not even a.
That's why they
get nothing.
That's why they have an NFL Players Association who is gonna look over this stuff, and it's. I can guarantee it's not over. But the whole process, the whole thing of me saying that is you cannot control what people's reactions are to things. So when people say somebody went too far,
that's your opinion.
It is your opinion on how far they went. Because if somebody smacks you and you smack them back, they'll be like, all right, cool. But
looking for custom apparel, cheerleading, family reunions, you name it. Art by Law has what you need. Art by Law at live.com. That's Art by Law at live.com. If you can dream it, they will make it. Hairstyles by Ice. The salon look without the salon wait. At great rates. If your hair's not nice, you need to come see Ice. And the best part about it, refer 3, get your hairstyle for free. Call Ice at 202-999-1881, 202-999-1881. Black Squirrel Media has video and photography for you. Weddings, photo shoots, proms, all that you need. Go to www.blacksquirrelmedia.com. That's www.blacksquirrelmedia.com. Or give them a call at 240-883-4677. 240-883-4677. Get the memories taken care of. Have you been in an accident? Unfortunate DUI? Facing immigration? Call New Age Empire for a free consultation with an attorney today. 571-317-5763. That's 571-317-5763. They got your back. Are you looking for a house? Are you trying to sell your house? What are some benefits to ownership? Tax credits. Your rent will increase, but mortgages don't. Build equity. Have something to call your own. If you're looking for it, call Yanira Rodriguez at Long and Foster, 202-547-9200. That's 202-547-9200. Call her today.
welcome back. We are here. We got Joe Fay.
Zeke Roser.
There we go, Zeke Roser. All right, so real quick, Zeke, we'll start with you, Zeke. Tell us exactly what you do. Tell the people what you do.
I'm a personal injury attorney. I handle mostly car accidents, slip and falls, that sort of thing in D.C. and Maryland.
Oh, pound beat you. You got walk straight.
There's a lot of. Do you do a lot of workman's comp and stuff like that?
I don't do workman's comp. I just do PI, and it's about probably 95% car accidents.
All right, gotcha. Joe?
Yeah, the bulk of my practice is criminal defense. Right now I'm on the court-appointed panel in D.C., and I also do personal injury, also mostly car accident cases. I do some family law, and I have also done a very specialized area of law called Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act litigation.
Explain.
what that was.
Please explain that. You just
We just like,
broke
what?
that joke down like y'all better know what it is.
I can see Pound over there like, what did he say?
Break that down for us.
Well, it's a very small part of my practice, but my uncle tried a test case in the 90s where he sued Iran on behalf of an American citizen who was killed in bus bombing.
Okay.
And so because Iran had trained and killed a bus bomber, they sued Iran directly under an exception of foreign sovereign immunity, and they ended up seizing Iranian assets that were here in the United States.
Oh, man.
So that is a very small part of my practice, and most of what I did for them was sort of legwork on sort of discovery and working up the case and working up the damages.
Gotcha. So, you know, as us as everyday citizens, you know, we're out here in this world.
Some of us are criminals.
We're no, none of us are criminals. None of us are criminals. But for you, Zeke, like I said, everybody knows that, you know, Ray's one of our sponsors. Ray's been on here, and Ray has, you know, reiterated things that we need to do. But, you know, sometimes I feel like people need to get reminded, because one of the biggest things is, like, when you first get into an accident, first thing people do is panic. And they panic, and they like, you're drilled in your head that, all right, I need my license, registration, insurance, you know, and I need to give this to everybody there, and the police. But what is, like, explain the protocol of, if I just got in an accident right now, like, what would I need to do? Like, what are the steps that I need to take to protect myself?
The first thing you need to do is just collect information. That's the most important thing. You don't have to call a lawyer immediately. You can call a lawyer later. You collect the information first, then you'll have the information to give to the lawyer. And generally, that also involves getting the police there, because the police will also collect information. They'll get everybody's name. They'll make sure nobody leaves the scene. But you know, the priority for you is to get as much information as you can. The information of the other driver, and the other passengers in the other driver's car. Insurance information, license plate, you know, take pictures of driver's licenses and insurance cards. It's, you know, a lot of people will cause an accident and then do their best to get out of there. And obviously, if you involve a lawyer, the lawyer is going to need that information too. So if you don't have it, you're at an automatic disadvantage.
I guess the biggest thing is what what you said. I understand that, but I think the biggest thing that people don't understand is the information what information do you have to willfully give to whoever you got into the accident with,
So
or to the police, or whatever? Yeah, so you don't give them.
Let me piggyback off, because I think I can answer what you're talking about. I was in an accident one time, and an officer rode by, and he just said, "Y'all give the information," and kept going. So I guess trying to say, what information should you give, and not give too much information to the other party?
That happens a lot, where either the police are on their way somewhere, or they just can't be bothered for some reason. I mean, you know, most good cops will stop. They'll interact with you. They'll fill out a form themselves, an exchange of information form, or enough information for them to write a full report. In a lot of cases that they may think are minor, they won't fill out a full report.
Yes, I've had that happen.
So they'll either fill out a sheet, or they'll do what you said, which is just say, "Hey, you know, my name is Paul. That's between y'all," and then they'll take off.
Them the type ones I meet all the time.
What do we give them though? I mean, without giving them too much.
Yeah.
By them, you mean the other driver?
Yeah.
I mean, you should give them your insurance information. You should let them copy your driver's license. I mean, you're not sacrificing any of your own, you know, confidentiality or anything. I mean, if you're in an accident, even if you didn't cause it, you know, you can't leave the scene of an accident. That's actually a crime. Joe can probably speak to that better than I can. But you know, give the information that you've got for your insurance, your license. Let them take a picture of your tag, and I mean, that way, you know, that's something that both parties, or any party to an accident, should give each other. It's public information essentially, and you know, you're not giving anything up by doing that.
So I got a question for my lounge boys, bro, because they asked this. Y'all giving out y'all social security number in accidents or something?
No. The thing about it is, I'm asking this question.
Because they asking how much.
The thing about it is,
they asking how much information is too much.
That's too much.
Yeah, people watching them.
No, but the reason why I asked,
Don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. No, the reason why I asked that is because the whole reason why I really asked that whole question was, and it wasn't really so much about the information, it was about admission of guilt. So the thing about it is, like, my girl got in an accident before, and the police was there, and the lady was like, "Yeah, she hit me," and you know, so it's like they had a trial right there on the street.
Right.
So that's why I ask about, like, what information, because they'll ask you what happened. You know, both sides have a story. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a story. So the thing about it is, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think sometimes it matters what you say on the scene, because if the police takes a report, it matters what you say on the scene. So what I'm trying to gauge is, like, your talking points when you get into an accident, not to go too far, not to say, you know, basically have an admission of guilt in the accident, like things to say and what not to say. That's the reason why I asked that question.
Well, you're certainly not under any obligation to confess to causing an accident. I mean, you could say nothing. You could say nothing to the other driver, and you could say nothing to the officer. But if the officer is compiling a report, and you say nothing, and the other guy says his version, then his version is going to be reflected in the report, and yours is not, and that report is going to come out against you. And your insurance company at that point may accept liability on your behalf.
Yeah.
So it's a balancing act between being forthcoming with the police officers, gathering facts, putting together a report, and confessing guilt, and that implicates some criminal stuff that Joe may want to talk about as well.
See, at the end of the day, you know when you hit somebody and they hit you.
Yeah, but I know, you know, there's times that somebody jumped out in front of you and you hit them, but I mean, that wasn't your fault. But the thing about it is, like for you, Joe, you know, when you get to that point where, like, some of these cases do go to court, and you know, some of the stuff that you put in the report, like, I don't know if they can use that in court or how that works, but like, how do you handle that situation?
So, the report generally is considered hearsay, okay?
Okay.
Unless the officer is actually there and saw the accident happen, generally what's in the report is hearsay.
Okay.
Now, if you make a statement that tends to incriminate you, then that may come in under the exception to hearsay, because you've made an incriminating statement. That's one of the exceptions. So, you know, if you just blatantly T-bone someone, you're probably best being quiet about that. If you rear end someone, you're probably best being quiet about that. But if there's a reasonable explanation for it, the thing is, if we're in a DUI situation where, you know, there's already been an accident, so the officer doesn't make any observations of driving, then we go to the second step, which is the officer's observations of the driver, right? So if you look like there might be something wrong with you, then they're probably going to pursue that. But if that's not the case, you are probably better off explaining. And the worst thing that happens is, you end up with some traffic infraction, which, a lot of people don't understand this. In Maryland, all traffic infractions are technically misdemeanors, but also if you have a clean record, you get a probation before judgment, which can be kind of a big deal because you don't get points on your license.
Yes.
So that can be a big deal. Now in DC, it's different. In DC, traffic infractions are civil unless you get to that incarcerable stage. Reckless is incarcerable in DC, but not in Maryland. Okay, DUI definitely incarcerable, definitely criminal, right? But failure to control speed, right? So you get in an accident because you were going too fast. In Maryland, technically that's a misdemeanor. In DC, technically not. So I think there's some important distinctions there depending on where you are.
Yeah.
I think it's important that people have, someone they can call about these things.
Yes.
And, certainly I get those calls at night. Hey, I was just in an accident. What should I do? And, it's not a bad thing to, keep a card around. Or, in my case, give out bottle openers to your clients with your firm information on it.
Wait a minute. Alcohol bottle openers?
I prefer to call them bottle.
That's a smart move, right? Yeah, exactly.
Take this one.
But to piggyback on that whole thing, and that's what I was gonna actually get into, this whole situation, about DUIs.
Nice.
Segue. So, what a lot of people don't understand is, well, let's just start. All right, let's do this. Let's start from the beginning. You get pulled over, and you've been drinking. Okay.
How about your plastic?
And you're drunk. You're out of your mind drunk, and you got pulled over. Now, of course, you're wrong. You're in the wrong. You're drunk. You're in the wrong. You're driving. Now, a lot of people, like I've known guys who have CDLs. I know guys, like a DUI is something that can
Ruin
your life, like literally ruin your life.
Yes, sir.
Like, so how do you I mean, like I said, you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong. But you just got pulled over, DUI. How do you handle that situation? And what's the best way to handle that situation? You just got pulled over by the cop. You're drunk. He's coming to your car.
Okay, so first, let's start with the situation that you're plastered. Whatever happened.
Plastered.
You're plastered.
Had a bad night.
You ain't hit nobody though.
You're coming from a wedding reception. I don't know.
Yes.
But
You're plastered.
clearly you've been drinking way too much.
Exactly.
Refuse everything. You're gonna refuse everything. You're gonna lose your license, or in Maryland you'll be on interlock for 6 months. I think it's a year now. Yeah.
It can be
As a result of the no leave.
So wait a minute. You said refuse everything.
refuse everything. Don't blow. Don't walk.
Decline to make statements. Decline to field sobriety tests. Decline to blow. Because
Take me with you.
But you going to jail?
Yeah, you going to jail.
I mean, you going to jail?
they're taking you to jail to breathalyze you for sure.
No, I'm talking about. You said decline everything.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be like, all right, I want you to take a test. I want you to you decline, but you're going to jail. Is that what you? I mean,
usually the practice in Montgomery County is they will cite you and release you. In DC, a lot of the time they'll cite you and release you. Sometimes they will hold you overnight and release you from C10 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference there is some administrative procedures that they have that probably are not worth going into here because they're going to make that decision. Essentially, you have no input.
Yeah.
Prince George's County, I don't know what the status is right now, and of course I don't practice in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why we was only talking about DC and Maryland. I thought you knew like we knew. Don't go to Virginia.
They
Don't go to Virginia.
Don't go to Virginia. Tell people that shit all the time.
Nothing.
Whether your decision to blow or not is not really going to affect whether you're held overnight.
Okay.
So can they give you a blood test when you get a blood test?
Blood test.
Oh my God.
The practice around here is usually not to do blood tests.
Okay.
Because as a result of a couple of Supreme Court decisions, they need to get a warrant for a blood test normally unless there's a substantial bodily injury.
Okay.
So in Maryland, they will do a breath test, or if you refuse, or if you blow a number that does not really reflect how intoxicated you appear to be, sometimes they will bring in what's called a drug recognition expert, and that's something that a lawyer fights about in court, whether that testimony should come in and what weight the court should give it. In DC, if you either try to blow into the machine but appear to not be able to, or sometimes when people
Not that.
No, it happens.
I've
had to do it before.
There's documented instances, particularly with older women or people who have breathing problems, that they can't breathe enough to actually register a result. So DC still uses urine tests, which urine test doesn't accurately equate to what your blood alcohol concentration is, but they will get other things from your urine tests, like whether you've been smoking pot recently, whether you have other stuff in your system like PCP. And actually, there are unfortunately a lot of PCP-related DUIs in DC.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah, I know anybody who ran into the back of the
Crazy. So technically, the main thing you're saying is, if you
Don't
know you're
Don't go to
dusted,
Virginia.
Exactly.
just if you know you're dusted, just when you get pulled over, just say,
Take me with you.
Take me.
Because one of the things
I'm not going to take the breathalyzer. I'm not going to do the sobriety test. I'm not going to tell you where I came from or nothing like that.
Right.
So most likely they're going to lock you up, right?
Take me with you.
most of the time in Montgomery County, they will take you to the police station, breathalyze you, cite you, and then release you.
But you denied it though.
Right. So if you refuse, you're still getting released.
What's your
So when they take you in, when they take you to the jail, you can still say, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the number
so
one
they're going to
thing.
try it twice.
That's the number one thing that everybody
Gotcha.
always tells you.
Gotcha.
Even your friends that have been down the road that you might not have been down yet. The number one thing everybody always has told me is, don't blow while you're standing on the side of the road. And when you get down to the police station, refuse that as well. They'll lock you up probably like 24 hours. You go sit down in the cell for a minute. Next morning, they go see the magistrate or whatever, and they let you come back on your own recognizance unless you're a flight risk, right?
So in DC, they have some criteria, and again, this is the internal administrative criteria, whether you have other cases going on, whether you're on parole or probation.
Right.
And those feed into whether they hold you until the next day versus set you and release you. For something like a DUI in Maryland, and most of my experiences with Montgomery County, but normally they will cite you and release you the same night. Because it saves them from having to take you in front of the commissioner, and then if the commissioner gives you a bond you can't pay, then the next day you end up on the bonds docket, and that's frankly a lot for DUI.
Right. But my thing is like, because my whole thing is about your license. All right, so you go through all that stuff and you deny it. Like, it's what happens with your license, like as far as.
You gotta wait till you go to court before you, or do they suspend it
No,
right then?
no. In DC and in Maryland, and I think probably in most other states now, there are two separate processes that run at the same time. One is the civil administrative process that goes at the MVA in Maryland and the DMV in DC, where they decide whether there's reasonable grounds to suspend your license, or I guess it's suspend in both cases based on whether there's reasonable grounds that you were driving drunk. So that's a civil proceeding. It has a lower burden of proof, and there's certain enumerated defenses that you can use, but it's much more difficult to win. Versus in the criminal case in court, where you can actually win, and it doesn't have a preclusive effect on what happened at the MVA. So I mean, that's a problem. Because you know, if your case gets dropped for some reason in court, you can still be suspended.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
And actually, the reason they did that, although the MVA sanctions are not supposed to be punishment, there was concern years ago that too many people were getting probation before judgments, and their license was never being suspended, and essentially, you get a PBJ, you pay a fine, and nothing else happens to you.
Just keep on going.
And particularly after there was a Montgomery County police officer named Noah Liotta who was hit on Rockville Pike a few years ago. And as a result of that, they passed a law which, you know, you can question the policy wisdom of it. Apparently the guy that hit him was very intoxicated, and I think the effect of the new law is going to fall on people who are not very intoxicated. Have had a few too many, headed home, get pulled over for whatever reason, but they're not extremely intoxicated the way this guy was.
But to segue,
Here we go.
Segway. Zeke, like if you get into an accident and you've been drinking, police haven't been there yet. Police haven't got to the scene yet.
Get in and out quick.
Look here.
Let me get your information.
I know you. I listen. I know there's certain things that you can say, and I know there's certain things you cannot say. But what I'm saying is, any information that you can give for somebody who might go through that type of thing. You've been drinking, you got into an accident, police haven't come yet.
They ain't got you.
What's the best way to handle that situation?
You're in a tight spot.
Yeah, very tight. Very, very, very tight.
You know, I mean, obviously, I couldn't recommend that somebody leave the scene of an accident.
Not at all. No, that's not. No. I'm talking about if you're there and you plan on seeing this thing through, but you also want to protect yourself because you've been drinking a little bit.
A little bit? If you've been drinking a little bit, you could be under the limit.
All right. Say you're.
In which case, proceed as normal.
Say you're at the limit.
I mean, you know, it obviously that's impossible to tell in the moment. I mean, you know,
Definitely don't leave the scene. Don't leave the scene.
I would say, give your information up as quick as possible
and get out of there.
No, and say, you got my insurance information. I got your insurance information. It's my fault. I don't care if it wasn't my fault or not. It's my fault. And then we can take care of this the next day.
I wouldn't be the one to call the cops in that situation.
I don't even know if I would say it's my fault. I was just like, here goes my information. What's yours? I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, exchange that and get the heck out of that bad boy.
Yeah, I mean,
as fast as possible.
If the other driver has not called the cops, then, you know, that could be a situation where
he can be drunk as well.
You know what? True. How well do you sober up when you're drunk?
Yeah,
It's going to come into play there as well.
But the thing about it is, the irony of that is because, like, when you're in a situation like that and you've been drinking, because I remember, I'm gonna say back in the day, I'm not gonna date myself, my age, but back in the day, it was between the two people who got in an accident. But nowadays, you see a lot of people, they'll call the police. Like they want to put, there's times where I've exchanged information with them, and then they're like, no, the police are coming, don't leave. What? So I can't leave. Can I leave? But I mean, we've exchanged information. We've done all that. But they said they called the police and they asked me to not leave.
That's actually a good question for you, because that becomes a question of whether or not leaving the scene of the accident after providing all that information is legal.
Yes, exactly.
That is a good question. To tell you the truth, I would have to look that up in Maryland and DC.
My guess is that at that point it's not a criminal infraction, because there's so many accidents where the police are not called. They exchange information.
Exactly.
That's perfectly legal, and they go on their way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the thing is,
everything's
like,
he didn't run. There you go. He leaving.
But see, no. So what happened to me as a personal experience of mine is I exchanged information with the person, and they was like, "No, wait until the police come." I was like, "No, I gotta go to work. Like I gotta be to work. You have all my information. If there's anything you need, you can call me. You can email me. You got my insurance company. You got everything.
License.
So I was, and then what happened was, a police officer came to my house 2 days later. And was like, you left the scene of an accident. But I was like, but we exchanged all the information. Like, he didn't give me any, but then he took my information again. And he's like, I'm taking your information, so I can give to them. I was like, but they already have my information. But he was like, you left the scene of the accident. I didn't charge for it.
He didn't give you a ticket or anything.
He didn't give me a ticket or anything, but it was still like, like I said, back in the day, you would exchange information and y'all would go about your business. Right. But the lady asked me to stay for the police. I can't stay for the police. You have everything that you need. I cannot stay for the police. I have to be to work. And that's why, so that's why, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, that's something you said you guys would have to look and see, but that's one of the big things. Like, do I really have to sit there and wait for the police to come? Because they take a long time sometimes with accidents, because it's so minor and there's so much other stuff going on.
Well, I would say this. Having talked to a couple of DC cops about this, my understanding is if there is no apparent bodily injury, most of the time they're not coming. They just won't come out.
Exactly.
Unless there's some reason to. I mean, if there's a suspicion that a crime has been committed, and then if there's a minor accident and one person's saying the other is drunk, I don't know. I don't know how they make that decision whether they come out or not. But I mean, I've personally been in an accident in DC, and I think I've been in 2 accidents in DC where, their first question is there personal injury? Because if not, it's coming out.
Exactly.
And so in that case, if someone says to you, well, the cops are coming, you have to wait, well, 20 minutes, 3 hours? How long is it?
That's what I'm saying.
Can I watch Netflix on my phone?
That's what I'm saying. So that's one of the big questions, because some people feel like they're obligated to wait. Like, I've waited before, but that day I was like, I gotta go to work. Like, this is what I gotta be.
Yeah, I think it comes down to a number of factors. I mean, obviously, if the vehicles are disabled and you get into an Uber and take off, obviously that looks a lot worse than if you tap somebody at a red light. There's 0 damage to anything, nobody's hurt. You exchange information and go on your way. Certainly in a situation like that, without even looking at the statute, the chances of you being prosecuted for that are very low.
But I think that brings up another best practice, which is if you get in an accident, take pictures of the other person's car and make sure you get their license plate in. Make sure that you document whatever went on. And, it's one thing to give a statement to your insurance company, but, normally, I mean, under almost all circumstances, I tell my clients not to ever give a statement to the other person's insurance company, because that's our job for later on. They'll get some statements in discovery, and then, we sort that out at trial.
I mean, that's funny, because that's what happens. I've been in that situation before, too, where the other insurance company calls me and be like, all right, so what happened?
Accidents you've been in, man.
He can't drive, dog. Don't ride with him.
Crash Bandicoot right here.
But the thing was, the other insurance companies would call me and ask me, like, all right, so what happened? We're just trying to get a statement. Oh, you're being recorded. And I'm thinking, like, why are y'all calling me? Like, I have to explain to y'all, like, what happened? Like, do I have to explain to them?
No, you're under no obligation to talk to the other party's insurance company at all. Now, you may be under a contractual obligation to talk to your own insurance company. There's
Yes.
probably a provision in your own insurance contract with your own insurance company where if you're in an accident, you've got to cooperate with them and give them the facts.
However, important aside, you know, if this is the kind of thing where you've been driving plastered, don't make any statements to anyone.
Yeah.
Because if you make incriminating statements to your insurance company and they are subpoenaed later by somebody, they're going to be turned over.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the wisest thing in you know to sort of cover both aspects of giving statements is get an attorney, let your attorney manage that process.
I mean, when I got in my accident, I was on 270, and the first thing I did was call my insurance company and say, hey, this person just hit me. That's the first thing I told them. And then they was like, okay, gave me information, whatever. Then I called Ray. That's my second call. So once I called Ray, then Ray got, you know, the attorney and all that other stuff. Matter of fact, I didn't even talk to the other insurance company at all. So they handled, you know, everything for me. But they did want a statement, but it was a statement with the insurance company and my lawyer on the same phone call. You see what I'm saying? So they wouldn't ask me nothing crazy. But
Well, now you guys know which lounge boys can't drive.
Yeah, listen,
they hitting me.
don't want to hear that. So look,
But I did have a quick question on the alcohol real quick. What's the lowest? The lowest is what? Point two that you can drive drunk. See, this is what I don't get.
that you can drive drunk.
This is what I'm striving for, ladies and gentlemen. What is
The
that?
comments of Timmy are not those of the Lounge Boys or Zeke and Joe.
Right. No, listen. No, what I'm saying is they tell you that you can drive while drinking.
over the limit. That's
Not while drinking either.
Okay, but then they tell you you can't drink while being over. But that shit,
Okay.
it's
That's
like
a DUI.
it's like they tell you don't drink and drive, but you can drive under here.
Look, y'all can
That's
tell
So
me.
which one you want me to do?
Y'all can
Don't
tell
drink
me-
and drive or drive under this?
Look, y'all
That's
can
a
tell what he's saying
DUI.
is ridiculous
Which
because
one
he
is
can't
it?
even get it out.
Joe gonna break it
No, I'm
down.
just saying.
Come on, Joe. What's happening?
Okay.
It's like
So-
you're telling me two different things.
Think of it this way: there's two separate ways that you can be convicted of driving under the influence. Now, one is per se, and that is when people say, "Oh, he's over the legal limit because someone's over 0.08," right? That's per se. It's the state just says if you are over this amount of blood alcohol concentration, we're going to consider you drunk, even if you're not. You know, because there's some people who have a mighty alcohol tolerance.
Yeah,
who can
buddy.
parallel park a 15-passenger van after drinking 15 beers. Not that I know anyone like that.
He can't. He already told y'all he can't do
So
it.
that's per se. It's you're over 0.08. So then the real question is, well, what's the other way? And that's a question of fact. And the way that the jury instruction reads in Maryland, I believe right now, is substantial impairment of coordination to convict someone of DUI. You have to be pretty impaired, right?
Yeah.
So it is unusual that someone would be below a 0.08 and be substantially impaired, unless they are prone to it or can't metabolize alcohol for some reason,
Yeah.
or maybe they've been mixing substances, pairing, you know, they're on oxycodone and they're drinking something like that. Maybe they're diabetic and they've been drinking. But then Maryland also has a lesser included called driving while impaired. Driving while impaired is any degree of appreciable impairment.
That's what I was going
Any degree of impairment.
On
Okay?
any substance.
So that's the lower.
It is a lower. It is
Okay.
it's called a lesser included. Now in DC, DUI and the lesser included OWI, which stands for operating while impaired, have the same threshold, and the question of fact there is essentially the same as Maryland's lesser included. So it's any degree of impairment that's related to alcohol or drugs.
Yeah, see, that's why they give you all of them, right? So that way, if they can't get you on the top, they can get you on the bottom. So.
It's essentially just two separate ways to get you.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who are, you know, heavy drinkers, alcoholics, who can pass field sobriety tests at a very high BAC level. And, you know, the government's decided they don't want those people driving around no matter how well they can walk and drive, right?
So in that case, do they convict you on testimony of the cop?
It's a number of things. It's usually if for some reason they don't have the per se, which means they don't have a chemical test, and they're just going for coordination, they usually introduce the driving, the officer's initial observations, all the stuff they would for probable cause normally. And then the standard field sobriety test, and if you've passed those and you've refused the chemical test, then the chemical test is actually admissible against you as evidence of guilt. And the reason is because the presumption is if you refuse to take the chemical test at the station, not the one on the side of the road, the one on the side of the road you can turn down, but the one at the station, then there's a reason for it, and the reason is because you're intoxicated.
But you should still refuse that test?
I mean, if you're plowed, yeah.
Hey, I got a question for y'all. Hold up, Pam. Real quick. All right, and I don't know if y'all want to answer this one or not, but do the penny in your mouth work?
What? The penny in your mouth.
You never heard that?
Or peanuts.
I've never heard of that, but it can't.
You never heard that?
You never heard of that? I heard two pennies will throw it off. So
There's a lot of things that can make it read higher than normal, which is why they're supposed to watch you for 20 minutes before you take the breath test. Because there's a phenomenon called mouth alcohol, where if you burp or throw up or any number of other things, it can affect it. And one of my questions is because the blow and go, the interlock that they put in your car, this can be set off by mouthwash, breath, and
exactly.
Maybe there's a longer list that they should have on there for that 20-minute observation period, but I'm not aware of anything that can make it read well.
Let me get one more. My last question would be, I understand they're about to come out with marijuana testing, and just like how they do how the heck can they do that? You can't blow that, can you?
The marijuana breathalyzer phenomenon, I'm not familiar enough with yet.
Okay.
I can say to this point, in the few states in DC that use a urine test, they can definitely detect THC. There's a question about the amount that they really get out of that, how they can say that relates to your impairment, and then also a blood test. So if there's an accident and they actually do get a warrant and they get a blood draw.
But it stays in your system, what, for 30 days at least?
It stays in your system a while.
Yeah, so
how they gonna say 90?
That is true.
How they gonna say I did it today?
Yeah, it's levels to it's levels to this shit.
Well, I was smoking these.
I would say that being a fat soluble substance, it's probably difficult to gauge how impaired someone is, because obviously if you smoke quite frequently, your threshold is going to be higher, and if you don't smoke frequently, but
exactly,
you're way too high one night, your threshold may not be as high.
Yeah.
Man, plain and simple. Exactly. So, real quick before we leave, we'll start with you, Joe. You can just give out all your information, the way people can contact you, and give them the old, what was the 5 heartbeats joint? My office hours are. Don't call me, man.
He got 24-hour office hours, though. You can be on the side of the road plastered at night and call Joe.
So give out all your information to all our people, and so they know.
Yeah, well, I have my own firm. It's Joseph W. Fay Esquire, PLLC. My office is in Chinatown in D.C. My office number is 202-589-1300, and my cell phone is 202-557-1306. I should mention that I don't do voicemail on my cell phone. If I pick up, I pick up. If I don't, I'll call you back. You can text me, and if I'm up late at night and you happen to get stopped, I will actually pick up the phone and talk to you. My email is joseph.j-o-s-e-p-h.w.fay@gmail.com. Right. And, if people do have questions, or, if unfortunately you get stopped, feel free to call me up, and we'll discuss it.
Man. Zeke?
Again, I'm Zeke Roser. My law firm is the Roser Law Firm. I'm right on Connecticut Avenue in Woodley Park in D.C. My website is www.zjrlawfirm.com, and my phone number is 202-660-4070. Call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and if I'm not there, leave a message and I will get back to you. I handle all personal injury, mostly car accidents and slip and falls.
Yeah.
All right. If they tell you that they heard it from the Lounge Boys, they get a discount.
Forget that discount. How much percent do we get?
You get a beer.
We got them already.
Exactly. So we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, man. We'd like to thank Zeke. Like to thank Joe for tuning in. Like you say, we try to make the shows informative. Like you said, they put all that information out there. Of course, we'll be running the show all week. If you have any questions or anything, as far as I know, it's free to call them and talk. As long as you got the minutes on your phone. And we want to thank y'all. Anything you got to say, Ty?
We want y'all to be there next week, the 24th, at Illusions Nightclub
That's
for
right.
our
Food
Thanksgiving food
Thanksgiving
drive.
drive.
Non-perishable goods. Bring out the
Bring
cane.
jackets, sweaters, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
we
you
taking
bring.
it all.
Yes,
We're trying to help families this Thanksgiving, this holiday season. So help us, help them.
There you go. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see you next Sunday. Like we say, we do this each and every week. It's the Lounge Boys, 7 p.m. Peace.
Gia, Modelo. Gia.
Looking for custom apparel, cheerleading, family reunions, you name it. Art by Law has what you need. Art by Law at live.com. That's Art by Law at live.com. If you can dream it, they will make it. Hairstyles by Ice. The salon look without the salon wait. At great rates. If your hair's not nice, you need to come see Ice. And the best part about it, refer 3, get your hairstyle for free. Call Ice at 202-999-1881, 202-999-1881. Black Squirrel Media has video and photography for you. Weddings, photo shoots, proms, all that you need. Go to www.blacksquirrelmedia.com. That's www.blacksquirrelmedia.com. Or give them a call at 240-883-4677. 240-883-4677. Get them memories taken care of. Have you been in an accident? Unfortunate DUI? Facing immigration? Call New Age Empire for a free consultation with an attorney today. 571-317-5763. That's 571-317-5763. They got your back. Are you looking for a house? Are you trying to sell your house? What are some benefits to ownership? Tax credits. Your rent will increase, but mortgages don't. Build equity. Have something to call your own. If you're looking for it, call Yanira Rodriguez at Long & Foster, 202-547-9200. That's 202-547-9200. Call her today.